Welcome to Conversations with Kenya. It's your girl, Coach K, your life do-over advocate, your hope dealer, your purpose Lamar's instructor. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the room. Welcome to the table. We are here to have a conversation. I'm here with my friend, my community activist. This girl is bad, y'all. She bad, and she has a story, and we're going to talk about it tonight, because that's what we do, right? We come here and we talk about it. So for those of you that don't know me, those of you that think you know me, I'm your girl, Kenya, Coach K, your life do-over advocate. And this platform, you guys, is to encourage, inspire, uplift, evoke, push forward, mainly to inform and to be a voice for those who don't have a voice. It's what I really want to do. I want to be a voice. I want to be able to give those that have not had the opportunity to share their story, to talk about their testimony. And you guys know that Conversations with Kenya is mainly centered around returning citizens, second chances, those who deserve a life do-over opportunity, and I just want to make sure they get it. If I could play any part in somebody experiencing life do-over opportunity or opportunity they've never had, I want to be able to do that, you guys. So that's what we do here at Conversations with Kenya, and I'm excited about all the things that are coming. It's getting gooder and gooder. I know that's not a word, but I can say it because it's my show. Gooder and gooder and gooder. So let my amazing, y'all gonna be seeing so much of this superstar here, man. She is on her way. Not that, sometimes God has to, let me not say sometimes, most times, he has to keep us behind the scene, keep us in behind the curtain, I'm gonna say, and while he's molding and doing his thing to us until we get to that place of surrenderance, and then it'd be like and then he shoots your foot, and people be like, well, where she come from? Because they think you just came forward, right? Not knowing you've been behind the scene, you've been letting God work on. And when I say letting you, I mean all of us. When you see us out here now, it's not that we just came out, or we just we really been behind the scenes. We've been in the trenches. We've been doing the work, and I know this woman is doing the work. She has some amazing organizations, some amazing other organizations that she's connected to. But I'm gonna let Miss Emily Washington do a proper introduction of herself, and then we're gonna have a conversation about how she rose.
Hello, I'm Emily Washington, and I'm the founder of Rebirth Hospitality Inc, and I'm the owner of Jay's Miracle Hand LLC.
Yes.
I've been through a lot, but it's all worth it. I'm basically right now trying to get my businesses off and known a little better, because I've been behind the scenes doing things, scared of my own self. So that's what's been holding me back. But after my completion with the Urban League Second Chance, I feel like that was the icing on the cake to make me feel like, okay, you got this, and God is here to carry your hand. So
wow, yeah. I actually got to witness Miss Emily's graduation from Second Chance Entrepreneur Academy through Urban League with the fabulous Nikki Gaskin over there, the president, the first female president over at Urban League, where they are doing amazing things, y'all, amazing things. So shout out to Urban League. And I was able to get some other candidates in the class and come over and watch them graduate as well. So share with the people a little bit about what Miracle, say it again.
Jay's Miracle Hands.
Jay's Miracle Hands, and What's your other business?
Rebirth Hospitality Inc.
So before she get into telling y'all all about that, did you hear the names? Did you hear the names? Rebirth, she don't even know. When I look at the names of her organizations, I'm like, wow. You can tell from a name typically if it's a God thing or somebody just grabbed and created, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you see it, when I see the logos, when I see the name, there's so much love in it. There's so much of you from every conversation I've had with you. Listen, y'all, how long we've known each other now?
Since I met you at 22 South.
It's been a while, y'all.
Yeah.
5 years now.
Pretty much.
Probably about 5 years. And from day one, this woman been talking about hospitality.
Yes.
From the very first time I met her, she's been talking about hospitality. Now she being humble, but she's come from I told her the other day we were talking, I say it's like from the pit to the palace experience, because she's been through some things. And so I'm gonna let her share with you guys a little bit of her journey, because the whole purpose of this, Emily, is to help somebody, right? Somebody that know. I mean, this woman got, how many degrees you got, Emily? She can't even count them, y'all.
I got 2 degrees and a bunch of certifications.
2 degrees. Now wait till you hear her story, you guys. In the midst of all that she's gone through, she's overcome. She's pushed forward. And this woman that sit here before me is not the woman I met 5 years ago. Still coming out of shell, but she is not the woman I met. Much more evolved, much more focused, and mind made up to do her thing. So tell the people start with whichever company you choose and give us some history about where they come from, why they were birthed.
Okay. So Rebirth Hospitality is my passion. It's my heart. It was given to me by God. And when I created my logo, I created with the concept of childbearing. So Rebirth is like my company where the nurturing, unconditional love of hospitality comes from. And it's just like a mother's loving her child unconditionally. So that's the Rebirth is really what started me with my want to get it out here, teach people how to properly serve the community and educate them. So with that being said, I took myself back to school. And I learned every parts of the hospitality. So it's nothing in hospitality I cannot do, but I center more towards like the serving aspect in the restaurant industry in the community, because that's where we like as one connect more. We have more community events. We always in the restaurants, and then also the personal serving table touch is a must for us, because we do have some people that don't go to events because of their accessible needs, mobility, handicap, mental health or whatever. So that's where me as a person, I center more towards those people because they mirror my life.
So what I hear every time, and it's not just sitting here at the table, y'all, but anytime I'm talking with Miss Emily, what I always hear is not just the passion, but the love that she has for serving. When I tell you that this woman has a servant heart and enjoys serving others, and sometimes that can be to a default because we get so caught up in serving, and there's nothing wrong with serve. I think everybody needs to serve before they lead. I don't even think you can make a good leader until you've served others, right? So if you're struggling with serving, baby, you ain't gonna ever lead properly.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna ever lead properly. So I hear the passion in her anytime we talk about her service, and I've seen her in action, not just to hear her talk about it, but I've actually been able to witness her in her zone, in her lane, and it just makes my heart beat when I see her operating. Let's talk about the other business.
And Jay's Miracle Hands was created because of basically I was thinking of all the my grandson, which is a part of my life, and the Jesus who saved my life, and then my dad Joseph, you know, who's the reason I am here today. But also it's because it's the hands. The hands operates a lot of things in our lives, and who we touch, how we touch, how we move. You can't do too much things if you ain't got no hands. So I named it Jay's Miracle Hands because I know once I put my hands on something or my word on something, I'm gonna make it like it's a miracle to that person.
Oh man! Thank you for sharing that. that really just touched my heart because I've heard her, but not in this setting. I get to hear her, or I've read it, but to be up close and in person, and not only hear her talk about it, but feel the energy, the passion, to feel that. I could literally feel that, you guys sitting here at this table with her. So let's go ahead and dive a little deep because what I want you guys to experience here tonight with Miss Emily, and this is really for those who may need some encouragement, and we all do. Let me say, ain't no may, we all do. I don't care how well you're doing. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care who you are. We all need to be encouraged. We all need to be inspired. And I'm telling you, I am a life coach, right? So I do it naturally. I'm encouraging, uplifting, building. I just shared a little short testimony with them in the studio before we started. But I still need to be encouraged. I still need to be poured into. So tonight we sit here and Miss Emily is going to share with you guys, and I'm sure there's somebody on the other side of this camera that haven't heard a lot of what she's going to share tonight. And I titled the episode tonight, "And She Rose," because when I see her and I've heard her testimony, God, I think the first time we met, she shared some stuff with me. And to watch her just continue to rise, it's really been a blessing for me. So I've enjoyed seeing you evolved. And so take me back, because she just shared with me, and I was like, huh, I didn't even know. Let's go back to college for a minute, and then come forward.
Okay. So, I was like always the child that got in trouble at school, but was always book smart. But always was in trouble for some kind of violent charge or some kind of, disruption or whatever. I grew up in a house with a older sister, younger brother. I'm the middle child. And I was always the smartest one, but I was always the rebellious one. So I went off to college. I went to Bethune-Cookman College when I graduated, and I got into an altercation with a little boy or whatever, and we got fined. So when we got fined, I thought I had to sit out for the summer, but I realized I didn't have to sit out for the summer. But the summer of me sitting out kind of changed my whole life. I never made it back to college because I went to jail. And I went to jail for stabbing an individual, which wasn't even my fight. I just ran out of the house to help my cousin and end up being locked up.
So let's pause right there, because that's a big deal. So listen, just one decision can alter and change your whole path. It can take you off the intended path and send you. And I said the other day on my live is that this is when this scripture comes into place that talks about God will take it and work it for our good. Now we know that because we've experienced, right?
Yes.
Some of the dumb decisions, dumb things we've done, God is taking it and worked it for our good. However, that was not his intended path for us,
No.
right?
No.
It was not. Continue.
So then, my mom, as always, she came and she got me out like always. So I ended up not going back to college, and I ended up trying to stay here, and I ended up trying to go to SBC, but then I started like getting into other stuff. I met my kid's father, who was 17 years older than me, and I was introduced to a life of stealing, fighting, selling of the drugs, and everything. So I was really like just in the streets now, just in the streets, in and out of jail, backwards and forth, having my child, then in the midst of it, going back to jail. Then with my second child, I found out I was 3 weeks pregnant with her, and I carried her the whole time I was locked up. So when I came home with another baby.
Wow.
And my oldest child ain't never get a chance to, embrace me because I was always in the streets, and then I come home with another baby. So it basically like when I got out, I was 2 kids now, still backwards and forth in the streets. I ended up getting a job as a server, which at that time was the only thing they said we can get. It was a dead end job, but it was good for me because
what I believe is like that was God's way of getting you back on, even though it didn't appear to be, it didn't feel like it didn't seem, you thought this is the only thing I can do. God knew what he was doing for you by introducing you to that particular position, because here we are how many years later.
Oh no,
Yeah,
because I'm 50 now.
That is that is so like the God that we serve, right?
Yeah,
I wanna touch on something because while you were talking, I was thinking, man, what is that like to spend your entire pregnancy incarcerated, right? Even though it's jail, still, and you behind bars, you got to do what people say. You ain't. What was that? Because I don't know. I've never been to jail. I've never been to prison. Ain't that I ain't did some stuff that I should have. I just didn't get caught. I'm just telling the whole truth. But what was that like?
It was miserable for me because at that time we didn't have the privilege that they have now. We didn't have that type of commissary that they have now. All we had was like the basics, just the noodles and the little simple stuff. They have more of a choice now. And I remember I had another charge in Manatee. So I had to get transported to Manatee. I'm big. I was so big. I was big. So when I got transported to Manatee on my way coming back, my the officer, she stopped me by Taco Bell. Mind you, 3 weeks pregnant, I'm big as a house now when I'm getting transferred and coming back. So I haven't tasted street food for the longest.
Wow.
So she stopped. She got me Taco Bell, and I was so sick because
you haven't had it.
Yes, I
Wow.
was so sick. But it was like her way of trying to reward me a little bit for. How would I say it? She was really good to me. She wanted to be my kids.
She probably saw something in you that you didn't see.
Yeah. And she always used to ask me, "What are you doing in here? Why are you here?
See.
Why are you here?
Do you talk to her? Have you seen her talk to her?
No.
That would probably, you probably should try to find her to let her. She would probably be so excited to see, not probably, she would be so excited to see how well you're doing. So let's talk to a young lady that's on the other side of this camera that may be starting her journey of going to jail, getting into trouble. I know what I wanted to ask you. Looking, and we still going a little deeper, but if you could pause for a second and look back, and I know you thought this to yourself, what is it that you would do the Emily today would do different than the Emily 20 years ago?
I think if I knew that I suffered from mental health, I think a lot of stuff would have been different for me because I was angry. And it was like I had like will have this burst of energy where I just want to just do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was always something wrong. I was like, okay, I always fulfilled that energy, which now I know as manic with negative stuff because I will always get this manic feeling like I want to do something. You know what I'm saying? Something unregrettable, something just like something. And I will always go and find something bad to do.
So for those that don't, including myself, for those that don't know what the definition of manic is, share a little bit about what that means when it relates to mental illness.
So with how I describe it with me, it's a burst of energy where you have your highs and you have when you're going through mental health and you consider as bipolar or you have depression, you have this thing where you go your highs and you have your lows. When you get that high is such a energy, like it's just like some kind of energy that you got to fulfill it with something. You got to do something to fulfill that energy. You know what I'm saying? In order to feel complete. And mine was always like bad stuff, like fighting, like stealing, selling drugs, anything that gave me that adrenaline rush. You know what I'm saying? And it just made me feel like, okay, I'm completed when I did it. But as I get to this point in my life now, that energy goes towards my passion with the.
So let's talk about that because you don't have to go deep unless you want to into when you were diagnosed, right? But what decisions other than finally probably getting in therapy, right? You got in therapy, you have a hello, especially you black folks, you need prayer and a therapist, okay? Prayer and a therapist. After getting when you was diagnosed, now you maybe I don't even know prescribed some medication. Talk to us about when that shift came, that when you started knowing where to put that energy in a more positive place. What was that like? Was it because you got in therapy? Was it because you?
Okay, so go back to me being like I had this judge, Deanne Fennell.
My girl.
Deanne Fennell. She was always, I felt like if it wasn't for her studying me and just like taking her time to really try to figure out, like this girl has a 2-parent household, been to college, you know, good upbringing. Right. Why is she keep coming in front of me with these charges? So she ended up, the day of my sentencing, I was getting sentenced for 17 counts of felons and an aggravated battery on a particular person. And I asked the judge, was she, you know, can I speak? And the lawyer was like, no. But I had already been having conversations with God. Amen. Because Amen. I was brought up in the church. Amen. And they said, once you have it in you, you're going to always go back. Amen. So I was already having conversations with God in the process because he knew what he wanted from me. Yeah. So I just was like, you know, Lord, this is your will, let it be done, but I do want to speak. So I end up speaking and I end up taking accountability for my actions. I did say I did it, but I asked the person to forgive me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and I, at that time, she gave me her forgiveness. And when it was time for me to get sentenced, she stood up and told the judge she didn't want me to go to prison. Wow. So I ended up getting a downward departure, but I had to go into a transitional residential home. Okay. And practice the steps. And, you know, I had 6 months residential, 5 years probation. And then after that, it was just like I was on track. I mean, they tried different types of medication. Mm-hmm. I was always that 1 out of 99%.
Hello, somebody.
And I have that skin discoloration, all this stuff. So I don't do the medication.
Amen.
I'm done with the medication. I don't do medication. I can identify my highs and my lows now.
Amen.
And I pray. I shut off and I pray and I listen to music. I'm now at the point where I am seeking to go back to therapy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it gets harder than the prayers.
It
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a firm believer that we need. There's nothing wrong with having prayer and therapy. There's nothing wrong with it, and we have made it such a taboo in the Black community. But I'm so grateful that it is on the front line. Right, we're talking about it more. People are going to therapy more, and it's not such a taboo. However, we're still dealing. We're still working through it, but we have come so much farther than we were years ago, where you wouldn't even mention it. I know even myself, 20 years ago, you could have never thought, I would have never thought about sitting on somebody's couch or doing, and now we so fancy. Now we can do it right on the computer virtually, right? So I believe that therapy is important. If you feel like you need it, I think it's important for those to seek out. So Miss Emily is now, you guys, as she said, she just graduated from the Entrepreneur Academy, Second Chance, amazing program, you guys, and it's only like four weeks, right? Mm-hmm. Tailored just for second chance individuals, those who've been affected or impacted by the criminal justice system. And so this woman that sits before me, and we've had many conversations, this woman that sits before me made a decision. She said, did you hear her? She said, at some point I just decided that it was time to go the right way, right? And so she's been on this path now. She's created two amazing nonprofits, right? Or that
one is an LLC and one is a nonprofit.
Two amazing business, one nonprofit, regular, and she's out in the community. Let's talk about why you're because there's another event that you do annually, and it's a big deal. Let's talk a little bit about why you do the cancer survival event.
I do the cancer survivor event because I started it because I wanted to really let people know that it's other people out here that's going through the same thing they're going through. It seems like I'm not a cancer victim, but I feel like after hearing conversations and after being around people that has been affected, the first thing they do is shut down. They don't want to tell nobody. They don't want to be around nobody. They don't want to interact with nobody, and then they go to this space where they feel like they're alone, And it's just basically to network and build more stronger support within the community for us to be more with each other when we going through crisis and stuff than away from each other, because a lot of times when people carrying a lot of burdens on their own, it gets overwhelming and some people just give up. You know what I'm saying? They just give up because they feel like they're by themselves.
Absolutely. I took care of my mom. She transitioned in 2001 with stage 4 lung cancer, and I brought her home to my home with my ex-husband, my children who were young at the time, and took care of her. And it was a very difficult thing to do, a very difficult thing. And so my hat's off to you for being one of those on the front line with that, making sure that there is enough, because you can never have enough support. You can never have enough cancer awareness or support. There's never enough of that going around. So kudos to you for stepping into that space without even being a survival of it, but seeing the need for it and stepping into it. And so let's talk about, you have an event coming up.
Yes, we have one. It's going to be I'm gonna do a mixer called Courageous Color over at Mom's.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do which is October the 3rd. And then we're gonna do the awareness walk and networking at Charles Park Neighborhood Association. That's gonna be on October the 4th. And then I think it's another date. I wanna say October the 30th is Sierra's gonna do like a empowerment section
Okay.
with Story 727. But I don't have the exact
So
date.
is this an annual event that you do?
Yes,
every
we
year?
do it every year.
Okay.
But we try to make it 3 days,
Mhm.
but this time we ain't making it bike to bike. You know,
Okay.
we just stretching it out. So, and she wanted to, you know, this year Sierra been with me since I started it.
Amen.
But,
That's a blessing on
and
myself.
I brought Charles Park in like on my 2nd year, and Teresa Lynn been over that part of it.
Okay.
And it's like usually I have planned everything, but now I'm learning to delegate. So everybody had a day to do. So, yeah.
Well. Since we're here, so I appreciate you coming to sit with the table and share. Like I say, the whole purpose of this environment is to educate, to inform, to inspire, and encourage somebody to know that it ain't over until it's over, right?
Yes.
Until you take your last breath. One of the things that I love about one of Felons Ain't Failures, one of their quotes is, "Purpose never dies." And y'all know I'm big on purpose. I'm big on purpose. And so to just know that you are stepping so deep into the very thing that God created you for to do. And, that's a gift, man, to be gifted with service, to be gifted as a servant. That's a whole nother level of servant that you go and you allow God to send you forth to do it as a business.
Yes.
That's a big deal, baby. Do you hear me? That's a big deal. And I'm honored to be sitting at this table with you. So honored that I've invited, and she accepted. I extended the invitation, and she accepted for Miss Emily to come over and be the hospitality team squad for for the House of Grace First fundraiser this year. I was trying to think of the name of it, but y'all, the flyers out there. We from the pit to the palace.
Yeah,
y'all
sure.
Listen, this thing gonna be fire, y'all. And so I think we're going to not think, I believe, and I know we're going to see Miss Emily in her in the fullness. Not that she ain't gonna be going bigger and going better, but I'm excited to bring her on to be the hospitality squad for the House of Grace first major fundraiser. Y'all, this thing gonna be so fire. I'm so excited about it. From the pit to the palace. If you are a returning citizen, if you've been impacted or affected by the criminal justice system, listen. And I've had some people saying, them the only people you're gonna use. Almost. Only gonna be a few regular folks. You gotta be been through something to even come and be one of my models. And listen, we got some real clothes now. Some real clothes, some real makeup, so the whole vision behind me using women from abuse shelters, women from returning citizens. Those are my people, and those are the individuals I want to give the opportunity to have this day of just I think it's going to send them to a whole nother level in their confidence and their self-esteem, and I'm really excited about. So if you think that you got a little something you want to show, little modeling skills or talent, inbox me, reach out, because I'm looking for models. I'm looking for talent. And so this thing is going to be so exciting. I'm super excited about it. Anything else, Miss Emily, you want to share with the people? I'm going to give you the floor. You go ahead. You got the mic, girl.
It's one thing I want everyone to know. special those single parents. Don't never let no one tell you when it's your time. It's never too late. Don't never let nobody tell you, oh, you too old for this, or you should have did this then and you should have did it this and that. It's always on God's time. My stuff didn't come together until I was at the age of 30. And I'm at 50 still trying to figure it out as well. So don't never let nobody tell you that your dream, whatever you dream of. My dream was to be an overseas journalist. Whoever thought that I would be a hospitality expert today? You know what I'm saying? That was my dream, expert. But that was not what God had for me. He wanted me to be this hospitality expert. So sometimes when you think you failed yourself, you really haven't failed yourself. You just delayed yourself for success.
Oh my God, say that again. Say that again. Rewind. Say it again.
I said, sometimes when you feel like you failed yourself, you really didn't fail yourself. You just delayed yourself to prepare yourself for success.
My God, that was good. That was real good. And we was talking about that, I think, before we start rolling, that sometimes, you know, you behind the curtain because God's still molding and preparing you and getting you ready to bring you forth. And so I am so honored, again, so honored to not only be sitting at this table with you, but to have you on the team and to know that we got some big, this is our first one, but we got some big things coming, some things that we're going to do together. And shout out to, and I have to say this because this thing has resonated with me since last Saturday. Shout out to Tampa Bay Shay, because that girl, that woman said last weekend, we are going to put unity back in the community. That thing has not left me. And every time I say it, every time I think it, I'm excited. Hey, Tampa Bay Shay, now I don't know if you're going to see this, but I think you're supposed to be running with that slogan there. I think that's a part of your assignment is to put unity back in the community. Yeah. All right, you guys, we thank you. We thank you for joining us. Couple of amazing things coming up. As I said, the fashion show, put October the 12th on your calendar. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be live, y'all, in the park, from the pit to the palace. I'm telling y'all, I'm so excited. I get to talking about it, and even I mean, Emily's conversation, and we met, she helped me see some things I hadn't even seen in the park. So I'm super excited about it. And of course, we are here every Thursday for Conversations with Kenya. Listen, go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe and like all the videos. Every video you see on there, I don't care if you don't watch it, go like it, because I need those likes, you guys. I need to build that platform so that we can share this information, this content with some others. So if you believe that it's helpful, go ahead and share it, right? And then you guys know that I am on we are, those of you that's been rocking with your girl, 30 Days to Elevation is happening. Today is day 16. Shout out to each and every one of you that's been joining me on the live for the 30 Days to Elevation. It's been powerful, you guys. God has really been speaking. And I'm telling you, I know at the end of this thing, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stop. Like I said, 30 days, but you know, God may whisper in my ear and be like, we're going to keep it rolling. But I've really been enjoying the downloads, the things he's been giving me to share. Has been, I think it's only been one day that I've just shared something that was on my mind, right? But when I tell you God been showing up and giving me a word, I won't even go live if he don't give me nothing to say, because what's the point, right? If you can't help somebody, you can't impact, you can't make a difference, what's the point in doing it? So yeah, you guys continue to follow us. I got some things coming up, y'all. I'm so excited about it. I don't want to let some of it out the bag yet, because you know some stuff you have to wait before you be putting it out there and sharing it, right?
Yes.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's your girl, Kenya, Coach K, your life do-over advocate, your Purpose Lamaze instructor, and I know Emily is too, a hope dealer. We deal hope, y'all. Now we done dealt some other stuff, but now we deal hope, okay? To impact and change lives. I love you guys. Shout out to Felons Ain't Failure Squad. Shout out to my boy back there, Lopez, behind this camera, making these things happen. And we appreciate y'all. And we'll see you next week. And we out. Peace.